afternoon, Mavericks, and thanks for tuning into UTA News. I'm Kristen Victorin.
And I'm Maria Murillo. This week we will talk to you about which precautions to take to prepare for flu season.
And the cooling temperatures mean one annual tradition, Rocktoberfest. We also see how well our Lady Mavericks are doing this season. UTA News begins now. Flu season has arrived this month and will last through March. The Health Center as well as the Health Department, gave me some tips on how to stay healthy this season. The flu season is a time of year much anticipated by students worried about missing class or work. The Health Center provides flu shots for $20, which may not be enough to encourage students to get vaccinated. Every year, students alike face the same dilemma when the flu and a heavy school and workload meet.
Monday through Friday is when I have school, and I even work on the weekends too, so it's just constantly go, go, go.
Yet, busy students alike who have so much to do aren't buying what medical professionals are selling.
I mean, I've taken it a couple times, and every time I've taken it, I've always seemed to get sick. So maybe that's my mentality, but I just usually don't get sick around the flu season.
Even for those college students who share Stephen's immunity, might consider proceeding with caution.
College students are at a little bit bigger risk to get it because they're around more people every day. They're in close quarters with a lot of people, so you're more likely to transmit infections to each other.
If the vaccine doesn't completely protect you from getting the flu, there are other benefits to remember. It can also protect you from getting any secondary infections. Nurses like Anita Colbert remind students the flu isn't the only thing to worry about during flu season.
It's not just the flu, it's the pneumonia or the infections that come because of it, because your body's so run down from the flu.
But when the flu shot reminders come around, there is still one common thought that comes to mind.
People say, oh, I get the flu every time I get the flu shot. Well, you don't. You know, the flu vaccine is a dead virus.
Students who do decide to receive the flu shot should not procrastinate.
Definitely you don't want to wait to get the flu shot until there's already an outbreak going on, because it does take about 2 weeks for the flu shot to become fully effective.
There are a few reasons people should not get the flu shot, like those who have had an allergy to the vaccine or eggs. Any questions or concerns for reasons you cannot receive the vaccine should be discussed with your healthcare provider. Kristen Victorin, UTA News.
The Health Center hopes to give out 2,500 flu shots this season. Hours for the immunizations clinic is listed on utanews.com. For the very first time, the SJP organization held an event known as Adopt a Refugee. Christina Garcia has the story.
Hi, would you guys like to help out Syrian refugees in the area?
The UTA organization, Students for Justice in Palestine, was formed last year in efforts to promote justice and human rights for the Palestinian people. They held the event, Adopt a Refugee, where they helped over 80 refugees in our area. These families were in need of basic necessities, and within 2 hours, they were all adopted. A member of the organization who lived in Palestine for 3 years shared why it is important for her to be involved.
It affects like everyone around me as well, because I know we're living here, we kind of forget what's going on over there, but it's a real issue that's happening all the time. So we're just trying to advertise that and advocate so people know, I mean, this is not about religion, it's really just human rights.
Students tell us why others should give events like this an opportunity to learn about the issues that are affecting people in the community.
To learn about it, see what the cause is, really understand what they're trying to get out of it, and once you know, you can then make your decision whether or not you want to participate.
Being a helping hand is mutually beneficial to the cause and yourself.
Things like this are not even about where you're from or what you're getting out of it. It's just about being able to say that today I did something.
Students also shared the importance it was for them to donate to the cause.
Is because I am Syrian, born and raised as a Syrian American. Every opportunity I have in order to help the Syrian refugees or even the Palestinian refugees is something that I'm proud to do.
Future events coordinated by this organization will be announced on their Facebook page, SJP at UTA. Christina Garcia, UTA News.
If you wish to help this organization, make sure to visit the MAV.org's or Facebook page.
The university organization, Advance, is helping lower-classmen with major exploration and career development. Kevin Mendez attended one of their most recent workshops on time management.
Whether we're trying to balance school, jobs, or personal responsibilities, there's times when we all wish we were more than one person. Unfortunately, that's not an option for most of us. So we must rely on good time management.
I really enjoyed it. It was short and sweet.
Mariah Reyna is referring to the time management workshop that was held at the Preston Hall.
Me personally, I need to start really listening and really taking time for the small things to really maximize my time. Because with work and school and studying and trying to have a social life too, and seeing my family, it's been hard.
Giving the time management lecture was Alan Pickering.
If you don't put your priorities straight and know what you want to do, then obviously it gets out of hand.
Who is a pre-academic leader.
I consider my time management very well.
During the lecture, Alan used an analogy as well as an activity
This is like a game.
to demonstrate time management.
So I showed him a little jar, and inside that jar there was different varying levels of materials. So the first one was like a big rock, and so the big rock represented things that take a lot of time to do. And then I put in little rocks, and the little rocks kind of represented smaller things to do, but things you still have to do. And then I put in sand, and sand kind of represents things that fill in the spaces between, but it's maybe something that's not as important.
So apparently, needing to be more than one person isn't actually necessary.
That's Cameron.
Kevin
Yeah.
Mendez, UTA News.
Advance will have their next workshop over library research on October 8th in Preston Hall, room 104.
Last week we brought you a story on UTA showing significant enrollment increases around campus, but that only scratched the surface. There is a growing trend in online enrollment as well. Sean Fuller has more on the story.
UTA campus is buzzing with activity, and it is evident that enrollment is at an all-time high.
According to the most recent census at UTA, Texas enrollment has reached over 37,000. If you combine that with online student registry, the number reaches over 50,000. That's enough to fill the College Park Center 7 times.
Online enrollment is on the rise, and it doesn't show any signs of stopping. But before you commit to a course, there's something you should keep in mind.
It definitely takes a lot of discipline. You have to make sure that you know when all of your assignments are due, because you don't have that class that you're always going to, where your professor may be able to remind you.
Students often have to decide if an online class is best for them. Professor Mason has experience from both sides of the screen and knows it can be difficult.
I don't think it's for everybody. I don't think it's for every student. I don't think it's for every instructor. But for those that are interested in it, it's a wonderful sort of new frontier.
It's a frontier that can be explored no matter where you're from. The flexibility an online course allows continues to motivate students to enroll in them. UTA has made it a priority to expand their online catalog.
We are all about providing different delivery modes for our educational experiences, and online is definitely one of those.
The university wants to provide you the opportunity to achieve your goals. For some of us, a degree is just a click away. Sean Fuller, UTA News.
If you think online courses would benefit you, stop by your advisor's office to see which ones fit your degree plan.
After the break, we'll hear about UTA Radio's Rocktober event.
And we'll find out about a theater class that may provide inspiration for Halloween. You're watching UTA News.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
With the new season's weather rolling in, some local artists will be stopping by the campus all month. Let's see what the story is with Landon.
With fall rolling right around the corner, UTA Radio is hosting its annual concert series.
October is UTA Radio's chance to get a group of bands that maybe don't get as much exposure as they should. We've got a couple local bands coming in that don't get as much radio play. We've got a couple of award-nominated bands coming in.
Here in the radio studio, UTA hosts many student DJs and local artists, but it's not the only place on campus music can be heard. Every Friday for the month of October, UTA Radio will be hosting local artists here.
Some free t-shirts that you could win. You had to play a little card game where you had to guess either odd or even number or in red and black. If you got both, then you won a free t-shirt. If you only got one, then you either got a sticker or a CD.
The remote starts on utaradio.com at 10 o'clock and the live band starts playing at noon. For those of you who can't make it out to the campus, the concert will be broadcast on UTA Radio using a tie line system to ferry the music back to the station.
Thank you guys so much. Have a lovely day.
And what's the best part about playing at UTA?
It's more genuine, I would think. Some of the places we've always played is like the same old clubs in Dallas and stuff. And I feel like everyone here is just interested in putting on a good show, not about money or profit.
Landon Hearn, UTA News.
For more information, make sure to check out utaradio.com.
So you know Halloween's right around the corner.
That's right. How would you like to learn about a class where you can do scary makeup? Here's Nancy with the story.
Here at UTA, there is a special class where students learn how to cast and do special effects in makeup. Meet the passionate instructor Joe of CEA 4315, Special Effects in Makeup Design, and learn more about what this course has to offer.
It's a lot of fun. No, we do a lot of work with constructing, with casting of body parts, and then from there we end up making special effects. It can be something blood and gore and guts. It could be simple things like horns, worms growing out of the body. You can have anything you can think of.
And not only is Joe passionate about teaching, he also feels pride for what his former students have accomplished.
Well, last year I had a student that had taken it that got offered to be on the show called Face Off on the FX channel, and I was really proud of her. Last time I talked to her, she said she accepted. But I've also had other students that work professionally in the field and over the years that I'm very proud of also.
Theater major student Adelita shares her interest and why she enrolled in this course.
I took him last semester and it was super fun in a different makeup class, so I decided to try the special effects makeup.
And this is what Adelita means by fun.
Lots of hands-on experiment, lots of fun stuff that you can use at home and in the future and right now. Like Halloween is coming up, so you can make your own Halloween costumes. It's awesome.
So if you like working in a group, this is another reason why you should consider this course.
Definitely a lot of teamwork going on in order to do the head casting. We need maybe about 3 or 4 people on each head.
Be sure to meet with your advisor for more information, especially
if you want to make yourself up for Halloween or whatever, you'll learn how to make these things and actually apply them and go from there.
UTA News, Nancy Salas.
There you go.
Schedule an appointment with your advisor if you're interested in enrolling in Theater 4315.
Have you ever had a moment where you forget that one spiral you need for studying? Reporter Austin Wen reports on a way to keep it all in one place.
Picture this. You have a big exam coming right up, and you decide to study at your local coffee shop. You sit down and set up. You're ready to study until you know it. Then you realize, shoot, I forgot my other notebook. Then your glorious study session is done. This happens more often than not. I'm Austin Wen. I'm going to tell you how to take notes in the modern age using the cloud. What's the cloud? Think of it as a floating flash drive you have everywhere you go. While there are many services, today I'm going to use Google Drive. It's simple. Type up your notes and save it to the cloud. That way you can view it on all your devices like your phone and tablet. And that's it. Oh, and if you take your notes on your spiral, I recommend using your phone's camera to take a picture and upload it to the drive. That way you have it everywhere you go. Regardless, the lesson today is to have your notes readily accessible, and a cloud service like Google Drive can help you achieve that. Have a better tactic? Be sure to tweet me at StinWin. I love to hear your feedback. In front of the Central Library, I'm Austin Wynn, UTA News.
The UT-Arlington Library celebrated banned books this past week. The event started by the American Library Association hopes to get community talking about our First Amendment rights and other American ideals, displayed hundreds of previously banned books available for rent as well as for grabs at the Little Free Libraries. To learn more about banned books, visit the American Library Association webpage at www.ala.org/books.
And coming up after the break, we'll profile a UTA track athlete.
And we'll hear how the Lady Mavs volleyball did against Arkansas's Little Rock.
No more pencils, no more books, no more teachers, dirty looks. School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org because great things happen when we live united.
To Maddie, congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
How'd you manage that anyway?
I started tracking my spending, changed a couple of habits.
Wow, I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now. I don't even know how I'm doing it.
Well, have you tried saving a little?
I want to, but where's that money gonna come from? Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
Not home.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome to this edition of UTA Sports. I'm Chris Whetstone. Basketball season is just around the corner, and UTA men's basketball team has already begun preparing their annual boot camp. Here's Reginald Adatula with more.
Last week, UTA's men's basketball team had their annual boot camp ahead of the upcoming season. The camp's goal is relatively simple.
To make them tougher mentally and physically, that's the most important thing, and then also to continue to emphasize our defensive principles. This is kind of get us back to our defensive mentality, our toughness, our competitiveness, and bring that out of our guys.
In the 10 sessions that took place over 5 days, the team pushed themselves to physical extremes to prepare their bodies and their minds. Sessions were held at various locations on campus, but finished out at a venue new to the event, the outdoor basketball courts at the Maverick Activity Center.
I love it out here. This is the first time we've done it on the outdoor courts, and I think this will be where we have it from here on out. It just gives you kind of a tough man feel to be outside and working out here.
The added toughness of training outdoors was not only felt by Cross, but also by his players.
Well, the years I've done it before, this, in my opinion, is the toughest. I mean, outside is brutal. I mean, it's probably 90 degrees here on the concrete. And, sometimes you get a breeze, sometimes you don't. You're hoping for a cloud, but I mean, it's tough. It's just mentally tough.
And while the boot camp definitely delivers on instilling toughness, it also creates camaraderie among teammates. That's important considering there will always be hard times in a season when they'll need Reginald Adatula, UTA News.
The men's basketball team will open up their season on October 14th with their homecoming game versus the Fordham University Rams. For ticket information, visit utamavs.com. A student from UTA left her country and her family, all for her love to the track and field.
Gabriela Alfonso's day does not begin in the usual classroom like you would expect. This is because she is a track runner here at UTA.
I get really nervous before any competition because everything I've trained for comes to one moment.
100 meters at a time. Although her beginnings were tough, her discipline and perseverance were fundamental for her to succeed in this sport.
They detail mostly on balance and in running, and I didn't have any of that, which made it very difficult. My dad would even have to train me on the weekends just to get me on the same level of other kids. It was a drastic change, but out of nowhere, I began running fast, and all of the hard work paid off.
With a complex schedule, one of the skills she learned within this sport was discipline.
It takes a lot of time training, and when it comes to food, we have to make healthy decisions. And as well, I have to be disciplined when it comes to studying. I am very organized, and I organize my free time to study and train.
One of her goals is to qualify to the Olympic Games of Tokyo 2020. And although it may seem as if it's still a long way to go, her preparation begins now.
To be here and say I'm Team Venezuela fills me up with a lot of pride. I represent 26 million people, and that makes me really proud.
Gabriela graduates in May of 2016, and until then, she will begin competing for an Olympic position. Brenda Gonzalez, UTA News.
Gabriela graduates in 2020, but plans to continue her education towards her master's degree in marketing. With the emergence of the Ice Hockey Club last year, it's finally time to see the Mavericks on the ice once again.
And with that face-off, it is a new season for the UTA Ice Hockey Club. They are entering their second season since being dismantled back in 2011. They feel like they've gone through leaps and bounds over from what they accomplished last year. So what does this new season mean to the Ice Hockey Club?
The new season means a lot to us as new skaters. Last season we barely had matching jerseys. This season we're starting to actually look together as a uniform team. We're still getting there. All that hard work, all that dedication, it's going to pay off eventually.
Last year's accomplishments did not go unnoticed. They won the Campus and Recreation's Most Improved Club Award at UTA. So what does the award mean to you?
For me, it means that a lot of our hard work has paid off. The early morning practices, the late night workouts, coming together as a team, it really shows cohesion. It shows we're all working together and we're trying to represent the school the best of our ability.
Even the coaching staff has made an improvement. Last year's captain, Sean Ebke, now joins the staff. With a bigger crowd turnout, a bigger staff, and expecting to make more wins, what else is the UTA Ice Hockey team looking forward to?
Excited about it. I'm glad the news is out here doing coverage. It's a lot of fun. Even if we get our butts kicked, we still have fun, and we get to hang out as a team after. It's worth it. I'm playing with my best friends and having a great time.
James Belknap, UTA News.
The club has their home games at the Dr. Pepper Star Center in Euless. Their next home game will be against Texas State on Friday at 10 p.m. and Saturday at 4:30 p.m. UTA volleyball returned home to defeat two conference opponents this week, taking down Georgia Southern on Thursday 3-2. On Saturday, the Lady Mavs matched off against Arkansas Little Rock, whom they lost in their previous meeting. In an intense four-set match, the Lady Mavs pulled away in the first set to win 25-19. In the second set, the Lady Mavs were down by 10 points, but with an 8-point spree, including 3 kills from sophomore Keone Canetti, they stole the second set 25-23. After dropping the third set, the Lady Mavs rebounded and fought off the Little Rock Trojans late in the match to win 26-24. The Lady Mavs improved to 13-5 overall and 4-2 in conference play, and will go on the road next to face off with Texas State and San Marcos.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
XL Campus Activities is unifying the UTA student community one event at a time. Reporter Thomas Hose has the story.
It's Movie Mania for Excel Campus Activities and UTA students. Excel puts on about 40 to 50 events like the movie screening tonight throughout the school year, with the main purpose of bringing the student community together. Excel had one of its largest event turnouts yet for Friday night's movie screening of Ant-Man.
Excel is an organization on campus that we basically just try and promote student life on campus by doing different events to try and promote that student activities.
The organization is composed of 70 student members who all help to bring events like this one to life.
One thing that people don't see is that how much work our members put in to make these events so successful. People come for a 2-hour, 3-hour event and they go, but they don't understand that that 2-hour, 3-hour event took about 2 to 3 months to plan.
They also work hard to provide refreshments, free popcorn, and to keep the audience entertained until the movie starts.
We work together so closely. It's kind of fun to bond with each other and work these events because we have a lot of fun doing them. And then, the icing on top of the cake is just seeing how much people enjoy them and how many people come out.
Excel will continue to host Friday night films throughout the semester with hopes of continuing to see signs like this and bring students closer together. Thomas Hose, UTA News.
Excel's next major event will be the 35th annual bed races on Wednesday, October 7th, 7 p.m. at the Maverick Stadium.
There are different ways to avoid getting high debts of a higher education, but these are not always being used by the students. Maria Cruz has the details.
One of the main things students worry about is the high cost of attending college. Even though some universities charge close to $10,000 a year, in others, the cost can easily reach $60,000 or more. Gabriela is a senior at UT-Arlington. When it came to looking for financial help, she planned ahead.
When I was still in high school, I wanted to go to a university where I could receive the most help I could possibly get, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have been able to afford school. So the scholarships I received have helped me a lot, and thanks to them, I'll be able to earn my degree.
She believes all students have the same opportunity to get scholarships, but not everyone applies for them.
Students don't apply because they don't want to. All the information's there, the scholarships are there. All you have to do is get up and do it.
Gabriela is not the only student who thinks that way. Laura is in her 4th year here at UT-Arlington, but she thinks there are other reasons why students are not taking advantage of the scholarships offered.
As a Hispanic, my parents didn't know how to find any scholarships or any kind of financial help. And well, in life, if you want something, you have to go out and get it, and that's what I did.
Laura reminds students that it is very important to apply for scholarships while they're still available.
Because it's money that I could receive, but I won't be able to because they'll give it to somebody else, or it's money that will be lost and that I won't be able to use.
Maria Cruz, UTA News.
If you need help applying for scholarships, make sure to stop by the Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships on the 2nd floor of Davis Hall.
The LGBTQA program kicks off their Pride Week today. Pick up your Pride gear in the Paladuro Lounge. Tomorrow, there is a study abroad questionnaire panel. Wednesday, there is an out to lunch event. Thursday, a sex, gender, and spirituality event focuses on how sexuality and spirituality interact. And Friday, there is a drag show benefiting the LGBTQA scholarship. For a full calendar of events and more information, search LGBTQA on the UTA website.
And that ends our 3rd segment of UTA News. Thank you for joining us. I'm Maria Murillo.
And I'm Kristen Victorin. Until next time, Mavericks.